In other world news, apparently, as of today, it's official, the Obama administration is holding no one responsible for what happened before the deadly attacks on the U.S. compound in Benghazi, Libya. Last fall, it was only a matter of days after those 4 Americans were killed in Benghazi before evidence started appearing, indicating that State Department officials paid insufficient attention to requests from diplomats and security personnel in Libya, desperately asking for additional security. Around that time, then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton put 4 State Department officials on administrative leave. But as of today, those 4 have been invited back to work. Secretary of State John Kerry decided that the 4 do not deserve any formal disciplinary action. And the State Department official tells me that there was no breach of duty for these officials and that they are not returning to their previous positions. What's notable about this move is that those decisions to not provide additional security personnel and assets in Libya, that's one of the only parts of the Benghazi scandal that Obama administration officials will acknowledge was a real, actual problem. Now, you can go back and forth on talking points from the White House and whether U.S. military assets were in position to rescue the Americans being attacked, but the continual denials throughout 2011 and 2012 of additional security for Ambassador Chris Stevens and the others there in Libya, that part of the Benghazi controversy, no one with any real knowledge or perspective on the tragedy can refute. How bad was it? Recall the testimony of the former regional security officer in Libya, Eric Nordstrom, who left his post less than 2 months before the attack. He described for Congress just how State Department officials continually shot down his requests for additional security.
You know what makes most frustrating about this assignment? It's not the hardships, it's not the gunfire, it's not the threats. It's dealing and fighting against the people, programs, and personnel who are supposed to be supporting me. And I added it by saying, for me, the Taliban is on the inside of the building.
You heard that correctly. That's the regional security officer from Libya, the former one, describing State Department officials as the Taliban. An independent review of what happened in Benghazi noted that security was, quote, grossly inadequate and faulted systemic failures in leadership and management deficiencies at senior levels, though it was established that no one had been proven to have breached his or her duty. I want to get some reaction from Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz of Utah. He serves on the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us. Do you think these 4 individuals needed to lose their jobs over the events in Benghazi? What would have satisfied you?
Well, first we got to capture the terrorists who committed this. Nobody's been captured or killed, but somebody at the Department of State has to be held accountable. It was April 6, 2012. We had the first bombing in Benghazi. June 6, 2012. We had a second bombing. Nothing was done after this. 5 days after that second bombing at our Benghazi facility, a 3-car convoy from the Brits was attacked. An assassination attempt on the ambassador, and nothing was done. This happened less than 2 kilometers from our Benghazi facility. After those 3 events, there is not a single thing that was done to protect and fortify that facility, nor did Secretary Clinton do anything to give them more personnel. And then we had the terrorist attack of September 11th.
Should anyone be fired as a result of what happened in Benghazi? The State Department says there was no breach of duty and that this is more about learning lessons than punishing people. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, Hillary Clinton was in charge of the State Department for 4 years. This terrorist attack happened, and they set up an accountability review board, which I believe was 5 members. Within 60 days, they found 29 systemic problems and challenges within the State Department. Now, how is it that they could go in 60 days and find 29 systemic problems where Secretary Hillary Clinton couldn't find it in 4 years? She accepted all 29 of those, but not a single person was held accountable. Nobody was fired. They went on this paid leave, but they get their full salary. Nothing changed.
I know that Charlene Lamb, one of the State Department officials in questions, has said that cutting funding for the State Department security measures was not part of what happened in Benghazi. Yeah. But going forward, where are we as a government, as a Congress and the White House, on moving forward and having more funding for security at embassies? Has any of those attempts at legislation gone forward?
Well, over the last 5 years, the State Department as a whole has had nearly a 100% increase in their operating budget.
Specifically about security, specifically for the security budget, has there been any advances there?
Well, you have an administration where President Obama is out there saying that Al-Qaeda's on the run, but the first, your whole program, this has been about Al-Qaeda so far. So you're out loud, you're saying Al-Qaeda's on the run and the terrorists, are non-existent, yet we're closing 19 embassies because of these conference calls. We have a terrorist attack in Benghazi. You've got to take this seriously and understand that America is under attack, and you've got to take this proactively. And make some hard decisions that maybe aren't as politically correct, but would create the safety and the environment that we need in those embassies and consulates.